Today, I'm going to be installing a receptacle behind my mounted TV. I'll be using a 1-gang 20 cubic inch PVC outlet box. Since this is a swing TV mount, I need to decide where I want the outlet box mounted. So I'm going to push this TV back all the way in the sitting position, and then I'm just going to mark with a pencil on approximately where I want it. Trace out the box with a pencil so I know where to cut. And I'll be using my multi-tool for this. I know the blade I'm using is just a tad too big, but it will get the job done. Removing this piece of sheetrock, and I'm going to do a quick test to make sure that the box fits in there. Now I need to turn off the breaker to the outlet that I'm going to be grabbing power from. Double checking that the power is off with my Fluke non-contact voltage tester, removing the outlet cover, and I'm using a razor knife here because there was a little bit of paint painted over that cover. Now this is a little bit of an odd wiring setup that you probably will not run into. This receptacle right here is last in line with other receptacles in the room. The top gold screw is 120 volt coming in, then goes out to the yellow wire nut and white wire, which goes to a single pole toggle switch. From the toggle switch, it returns to the bottom gold screw, so the power to the bottom receptacle can be controlled by the toggle switch. Now I'm removing this bottom wire and I'm going to turn the power back on because I want to make 100% sure that this white wire is the hot wire coming in. With the toggle switch up, I'm getting power as expected. With the toggle switch down, I'm not getting any power to this wire. So now I'm going to turn this breaker off. Now, this is something that I don't see that often, the way they splice this hot wire to go into the toggle switch. It was done to save space, but I'm going to clean this all up, and my initial plan was to make the toggle switch work as intended, but I did change my mind, as you'll see later in this video. As I'm looking at this box, I'm not seeing a way that I'm going to be able to add a new wire to this box without drilling a hole. So I'm just going to rip this box out and replace with a new PVC box because I do have a couple of them in stock at my house. So I'm trying to gently pull these nails out, and this box is so brittle that it's just busting. I'm able to see where the top and bottom nails are now. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out with my multi-tool that has the all-purpose blade on it. And as soon as I got both of those nails cut, the rest of the box came out pretty easily, especially since I pretty much destroyed it. Now I'm just organizing these wires. The ones on the left are the wires that are coming from the other receptacles in the branch. Feeding the new 12-2 Romex to the other side was very easy, especially with that box out and no studs in the way. Prepping the new outlet box. And I'm pulling the old wires through until I can see the sheathing inside of the outlet box. And I'm not tightening down all the way on these wing nuts because I know I'm going to have to use some force to get this 12-2 wire to sit back in this box when installing the new receptacle. Here, I'm just cutting back the sheathing. I'm scoring it right in the middle. My hand's probably not in the best place there. And then just cutting the new wire so that I have at least 6 inches of wire to work with. And I'm going to get rid of this old sheathing. Now at this point I decided that I do not want to have a toggle switch control a bottom of an outlet. I'd rather have it control a ceiling fan or a light up in the ceiling. Now I did have to do a little bit of backtracking here, but I really didn't want this hooked up to a toggle switch is what I came to. So I backed it out. It was kind of a pain since I already had the box installed, but once I got that 12-2 Romex out coming from the toggle switch, I decided it'd be best if I just cut it out. To join these wires with ease and save space, since I'm working with 12-2 wire, I decided to use these 4-port push-in wire connectors by Ideal Inshore. Just push the straight wire in until it hits the top. Now I need to branch out wires for my push-in wire connectors, so this receptacle is fed with 120 volt and a ground. Here I'm just pre-J-hooking my 12-2 wire and hooking up the receptacle before I stick it into the push-in connectors. And I cut these wires at about 7 or 8 inches just so there's plenty of room. Now I'm going to push this receptacle into the box, and because this is 12-2 wire, I'm going to make some S-bends in it, and because I can, I'm going to grab the back of this box and just start pushing the wire in because it's kind of hard to work with. The 14-2 wire is much easier to work with because it's thinner. This is just what the house was equipped with, built in the 80s, so this is what I'm working with. And I'm going to grab this box and just push it in as hard as I can. I don't want it against the drywall where it's mounted because then drywall could get weak and break, which it did a little bit when I was messing around with this. Now that I got most of the wire in, there is a lot of ground wire in this box. You can see the bare metal right here. So I'm going to wrap some electrical tape around this 120 volt connector, the black wire, the hot wire, because if that ground wire touches that, it's gonna blow the breaker and make a short, and that'd be no bueno. Now that I got this receptacle mostly in the outlet box, I can go ahead and start screwing my screws in to make it nice and flush. You can you can take off the tabs, the left and right ear tabs, which I see a lot of people do. I just don't really see it very necessary in this situation. And now I'm just trying to line this receptacle box up so that I can get both of those wing nuts to bite, since it's the hole was cut out too big to begin with, but I did get it to bite pretty well. Now we're in the meat and potatoes of the whole job, hooking up the new receptacle so it can power my TV. And I've just cut this back and putting this in. I'm going to go ahead and screw it down since there's only one set of wire that I have to push back. It won't be too bad and I don't have to worry about damaging the drywall as much. Cutting back the sheathing and then trimming it. And I'm going to be using a USB outlet or a receptacle that has a couple of options, and I only need to J-hook the ground. The neutral and the black can go straight in and clamp down, so I don't have to worry about making J-hooks for these. And the reason I chose this type of receptacle is so that I can charge my PlayStation controller, because I do plan on mounting the PlayStation right above the TV. Now I just need to screw in the new receptacle to the new receptacle box, slap that receptacle cover on, and plug in my outlet tester and turn the breaker on to make sure I did everything right. Now I can plug my TV in and I don't have to look at that cord. I'm going to zip tie that later, but this is how we're looking. Hope you all enjoyed watching me install a receptacle behind my TV. Remember, I am not a licensed electrician. I'm a homeowner working in my own home. Follow these steps at your own risk. Comment below on what you would have done different. If you think I did a good job, bad job, let me know. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. My name is Dave, and this fix is done.